So this is Hedera Hashgraph, and they have created a technology that can compete directly with the blockchain technology. So as you can see, this is blockchain, and every node has to be cut off and authenticated to be secure. And it is literally separated from the main node over here. Now what Hashgraph does better, in my opinion, and can be more scalable, is that it connects multiple nodes all together. So now instead of having this singularity of a node, then you have this combination, this comprehensiveness of the whole ecosystem, which in turn gives a lot of benefits. So for example, the cost is much less. We'll go into that. The efficiency is way more efficient. We'll go into that as well. So click the like button right now and subscribe before you keep watching this video. One thing I want to cover is that the security of this technology is actually compliant with US top secret information standards. So it is all here, and this impressed me a lot because I had reservations as well, because blockchain 2 is very immature, so like a lot of people still have doubts about it. So imagine if this HBAR technology comes out and people are very skeptical about it. It needs to be very secure. So this Hashgraph technology is run by this ABFT, which stands for asynchronous Byzantine fault tolerant, and it basically means that no single node or a small group of nodes can prevent the network from reaching consensus, nor can they change the consensus once it has been reached. So if the network is truly coming to a conclusion that's accurate, no single person or entity can go back and change things, as we've seen in history, because a lot of the times the winners of any dispute get to write their own history. So basically this does not allow that to happen. You can actually invest in HBAR. So this Hashgraph technology is basically owned by this company Hedera Hashgraph, and they are on the crypto exchange. So they came out back in October 1st, 2019, and their IPO was at about 3 cents. I'm pretty sure it was about 50 cents actually, but it dropped right away. That's why it just shows here at 3 cents. But it went all the way down to about a cent, spiked up to 7 cents, and then it basically went back down, is now consolidating, and now it's actually going back up to its all-time high. So it'll be very interesting. If we can clear this, I believe that 50 cents, 30 cents can be very, very achievable. What do y'all think about the price? Let me know in the comment section below. So the schedule or the slow release of the HBARs is something that I want to address, because there are going to be only 50 billion HBARs created in the world. It is on the Hedera website, so they literally say that they have a fixed supply of 50 billion coins, and 1 billion HBARs is considered to be a gigabar, 1 million is considered to be a megabar, 1,000 is considered to be a kilobar, and it's all on their website, so I'll leave their links in the section below. Feel free to check them out. So this is the distribution schedule of the HBAR. So right now we only have about 6 billion HBARs out there, and as I covered, we're going to have 50 billion. So there's a difference of 44 billion that needs to be released, and by many investors they can see this as dilution. That's why they don't want to invest now, and I can see that as a very probable concern. So let me address that in this video. We have about 284 million HBARs that are going to be released this month, January 2021. Last month we had about 327 million. The month before that we had 324 million. The month before that, 361 million. So the history of it is quite varies. It can go from 400 million a month all the way down to 200 million a month. But they do address this on their website as well. They say accordingly, there should be an initial slowing of the coin release during the early phase of adoption, which many people consider we're in the early phase of adoption because it's only been a year or so, with an incrementally faster release as demand for coins from Treasury increases. So the Treasury basically is dependent on the Governance Council, and their governance council is made up of again, some of the biggest companies in the world. Check out my previous video about it. I'll leave a link in the comment section below. But I cover who they're partnered with and who is considered their governance council. But anyways, so if you as an investor are worried about this dilution, then think of it this way. On average, so far, for the first year of this adoption phase, we've released about 3 billion a year. Okay, that's very minimum. If we have 44 billion that we need to cover in only 10-11 years, we're gonna run out of HBARs, and there are not gonna be any more given out. So this fixed supply of 50 billion is really gonna come into play in 5-10 years. So right now we're literally in very, very early ages of adoption. And people ask me, when was this Hashgraph technology created? It was created in 2015 by a doctor named Dr. Bird, and this is very early on. So blockchain, the first research, actually took place in 1991. So it literally has almost 20-30 years on Hashgraph, and Hashgraph seems to be very, very promising. The technology is much more secure. The transactions per second are way more. Blockchain, quite literally, they say is about 4 transactions per second, and Hashgraph can do over 10,000. So that's no comparison. The number of total accounts that have been created on the Hashgraph platform actually doubled in November of 2020. So it went from about 50,000 to about 100,000. And it's going to be interesting to see where this leads us to, because you can tell from 2019, from when it was released, all the way till today, we've literally just been going up and up. We have not had a single month of decreasing. So that's a really, really good sign. So we went basically from 20,000 to 100,000 in a year and a half, which is really good growth. If they can keep that up for a couple of years, that's exponential growth. It's something to consider as an investor. So again, the number of hash bars that are going to be out there will run out in the next 5 to 10 years. So that's nothing to worry about if you're a long-term investor. If you're a short-term investor, there will be a lot of volatility, sure, but you need to have basically your game plan for the long term and be strategic about this. Anyways, this was a little bit more about Hedera Hashgraph and the Hashgraph technology, because I had a lot of questions in my last video. So I just wanted to clear some things up. I hope this clarified some things, but if you have more questions, let me know in the comment section below. And everything does help. Please like, share, and subscribe. Mr. Mufleh.